Greetings and welcome back to Robocraft and to Bay 2, Rolling Shenanigans. I have named the bays based on what I'm going to be putting in them. There's nothing in them except for Bay 2 at the moment, but we have Flying Shenanigans, Hovering Shenanigans, and Rolling Shenanigans. We're going to be taking out Rolling Shenanigans today. Now, as you can see, I've already taken the liberty of creating a platform up off the ground so that I can get underneath and actually have a look at the underbelly of the craft, should I want to. I always tend to prefer building up from the floor. Now, we're going to be making a tank today. I've got to be honest, I've started to warm to tanks simply because of the amount of armor you can place on them. You can't do that with flyers, or at least if you do, you end up having to have so much helium to keep it in the air that it kind of makes it really bloated and slow. It's more like a hot air balloon by the end of it. Right, as you can see, I've got some slightly higher level steering. I've actually unlocked very high level wheel components. I just don't have the money to buy any of them. Alas, story of my life, really. But we're going to be trying to do what we can. Now, I'm using... the majority of this is going to be the level 2 armor blocks, or at least I hope so. And let's pad this out. Oop, that's a little bit too far down. Pad this out a little bit. We want the actual drive to come from the back and the steering to be in the front. Those are unpowered steering, so that even though, well, actually, at that level, they'd probably be a little bit better at pulling than my driving wheels would. They're high level tier 2? Yeah, tier 2, and these are the high level tier 1 drive wheels. So those, if those were drive wheels, would actually have a higher top speed than these. But with this setup, we will actually be getting a reasonable pace out of the wheels. Now, it is important to start with a nice and secure platform upon which we will build everything else. So let's get that finished out. There we go, and put a nice little bit of curve on it. There we are. Doesn't look like much right now. I appreciate that, but we'll get there. We'll get there. It's an iterative process. We will build up. Now, I don't want the seat to just be flat on the bed here, because if they manage to just shoot that out, only one layer, then they would automatically kill. So I'm going to build the seat up a little bit. We'll have that about here, I think. And it'll be at the back of the craft, near where all of the actual drive is going to be coming from. I'm not sure how I'm going to pad that out, but we'll put the seat in now, just for the sake of it. And we'll also have the radar at the back, because one thing I notice is quite often I'm looking at the craft from this angle, so it's easier for me to see the radar neatly tucked away at the back there than it is if I placed it anywhere else. Now, what we want next is to start building out. So far, I've experimented quite a lot with different designs for tanks. Tanks that have basically an entire shell over everything, including the wheels, and whilst that is quite effective, it does cost a lot of blocks to do. And I'm not really sure, generally speaking, if something kills me, it had enough firepower to just melt away all of my armor regardless. And generally, at that point, I couldn't get away anyway. They were usually significantly more advanced, technologically speaking, that they were moving faster than I was anyway. So having my wheels protected just meant that I couldn't put more guns on. So we'll place a little bit of protection around the wheels, I guess, but mostly I'm not going to be worrying about that too much. Now, this area, this large flat area at the top, this is going to be where I'm going to be placing the guns. So we want this to actually be padded out quite a lot. And the fact that we're using quite a lot of cubes here means that just a lucky shot isn't going to disconnect a large part of the craft or disconnect a gun and thus destroy the gun. Because typically speaking, whilst this has got an armor of 25, my guns have significantly higher armor. For example, this. My top tier level 3 laser has an armor of 153. So as you can see, that's actually a lot more survivable than my armor is. Now, I'm not sure if perhaps there's some sort of modifier that gets applied to guns and actual armor blocks. If perhaps 25 armor on a block still works out as being much more than 150 armor on a gun. I really don't know. I'd be interested if someone did know, though, and would like to tell me. But I think this is a good enough platform there. These, for some reason, really don't like having anything on them, so we'll just do that. Now, obviously, although we are guarding ourselves, because that makes sense, and yes, I realize I'm not building this in the most efficient way that I could build a bot, since you don't really have to have windows and stuff like that. I like to make my tanks actually look like tanks. Call me a fool if you will, but it just seems right. Right, and we'll put some windows here. Yes, these are very low armor compared to the armor blocks I'm using, but well, as I said, I like it to actually look like it is a tank. We'll place some blocks there and some armor there as well. There we go. Now the only problem with these is actually we're gonna have to put the windows up a little bit, I think. Either that or stagger them. I'll have to have a look at that. Oops, that's not the right place. We want to place that upwards and then like that. Because otherwise it just starts to look a little bit top heavy. The seat has such a high roof above it. For example, I can't place a block there. The block has to go up there. Which ends up making this area just look comically huge. So what we're going to do is we're not going to have the windows there. We'll have the windows a little bit higher up. About there, yeah, that'll do. So we'll build this up a little bit more. On the plus side, this does mean that our cockpit is going to be very heavily armored, and I can only think that is a good thing, rather than a bad one. Let's put some extra blocks down there as well. Let's get right in there. No? Don't want to put a block there? No? Really don't? Ah, there we go. Fantastic. Right, we'll place some blocks here. Which means, I guess we're going to build up a second tier over here. And this kind of be perhaps a platform for my heavier guns. I've got two very high level weapons, as you may have noticed when I was checking them out. And we could build this up a little bit more. Okay. This is starting to seem like a very fat vehicle. I am a little bit sad to say. Let's have a look over here and place that there as well. Okay, we're starting to get somewhere. We want to bring this out a little further though. So we've actually got platforms for some guns on this side. There we go. Now, what I can do at this point is actually build out a roof above my cockpit. And bring that up there to meet it. And let's see, can I turn these upside down in there? Will that work? Yes, it will. Fantastic. I approve. And then we can give it a sloped armored roof above there as well. And also there. Now, this backside looks ridiculously huge now, and it's just cut off. So I'm going to need to build this up as well. Oh no, I've run out of blocks. I knew this was going to happen when I started to build everything up. Well, as long as the main parts are heavily defended, anywhere that I'm going to be placing a gun, for example, then the rest of it doesn't really need to be as defended. I guess this could be like one of those tanks that has very little rear armor. All of its armor is in the front and the sides because it never runs away. Yes, I like that, even though that wasn't really what I was aiming for. I'll run with that. That's going to be my excuse. So I'll just build up a little bit extra armor right at the back and have a little bit more on the top there. But the rest of this is going to be filled out. Over time, if this bot is successful, I'll actually continue to buy more parts for it and get those as armored parts as well. So it'll grow up over time. Alright, and place these there. I would like some more armor either side of these windows though. There we go. Okay, so we want this there perhaps. There we go. And one there. And maybe even Let's see. Do I have... No, I don't. Actually, I might be able to buy some. Let me see. Do they sell those? Yes, they do. They do sell the windshield inners, so we'll buy 2 of those. Fantastic. Right, there we go. And then we'll have to buy the corner sections as well. Should have thought of that while I was in the window. But there we are. We'll actually have a window going all the way around. Kind of a panoramic window. There we are. Perfect. I think that looks fantastic. Right, we'll place a few more of these. This part we can build up with regular blocks there and just place some armor on top. And then build that down. There we go. We're actually starting to get somewhere now. Little by little. But we still need to build out the back. Now, this does actually have, well... Over time, I would like to add many more wheels and actually just elongate this thing and spread it out a little bit so it doesn't look all bunched up at the back like this. But that'll have to come with time, I think. So we'll build up this back section. Probably only about as high as this, I think. Like so. And on the plus side, we can actually afford to build out a little bit of armor around the rear wheels. So that if something does manage to flank us, it won't simply be able to shoot out our drive wheels and thus disable us. Let's build that up just a little bit more. I've kind of got an idea forming in my mind's eye of what I want this to look like. Let's bring that up there. Okay, right, we've got a couple of these blocks. There's one there, and one there, and also these little corner sections. If I can rotate it in the right way. There we go. It won't matter too much about that part. And just fill those out. Next, we will have these there. And this will be a little spot for our radar. We'll place one there. There we go. Actually, let's rotate that so it's facing backwards. It'll rotate as it needs to over time, but may as well set it up like that for now. And place these there as well. Okay, right. Let's fill these little wing areas out. Also place a bit of armor underneath, like so. And I hope our guns are going to be able to fit on this. If not, I do have enough different levels of gun that I'll be able to find one that will fit. Let's test this out. Will these go on there? Of course they won't. However, I could fit them on the side. I mean, that's as heavily defended as anywhere else, I suppose. Though a little bit more at risk from attack. Well, no, we'll leave it like that. That actually works. Now, do I have a very high level gun? No, I do not. Damn. I was hoping that I had one very high level gun that I could just stick on the top there, but alas, I do not. We could have these down here. And then we could fill out the rest with these, I suppose. Let's get rid of that one. No, it's not going to work. May have to have a think about that. Can they afford to move back, I wonder? Because if they can, then I'll be able to fit two in at the front like that. Can they move back? No, damn you! Now, I could stick them there, though. That would work. Is that a stable enough platform? Not really. But we'll see how that works. So that gives us 6 lasers. Now, that offers us no redundancy whatsoever. So, what we can do is add in a few extra small ones here and there just to top up the amount of damage potential we have. How many more of these have I got? I've got a couple more. I've also got 3 of these. No. Let's pop these over here as well. On a different block, though. So that if this one block is shot out, I don't lose 2 guns in one go. Could even add some more there. My lord! This thing is becoming rather laser heavy. Yeah, go on then. We may as well. I mean, we're already into Wow, I thought it was tier 3, but apparently it's tier 4, really? How's that work? Maybe it's just the sheer amount of guns that I've got to put it into tier 4. I'm not sure. That might be a graphical glitch, though. We'll have to see. Now then, to flesh out the back. We've only got one more of those, so we're not going to be using those anymore. Alas. Let's flesh this out there. Like so. And actually, no, we'll have those like that. And perhaps we'll have a corner section right there. We will actually draw this out one more layer, though. And then finish it off like that. And finally, we can just add a couple of these underneath, like that, and it's starting to look good. We'll put some headlights down here. In fact, we could have one on each side. Not that a tank really wants headlights, I suppose, but damn it! Aesthetics! We could even have some on the sides if we really want to, but I don't think we do. We'll place one there. And do I have enough of these blocks? I do not, but I'm going to buy one just to finish off the look. Let's get one of those. Now, I'm trying to do this without spending much money so that I can continue saving up to try and get better wheels and hopefully better guns. I would like one really powerful laser on top there. It would seem to make more sense. And on the whole, I guess this is alright. The wheels are more exposed than I would really like them to be. Well, you know what? I guess I could buy a couple more of those just to protect the wheels. We'll buy only 4 just to protect the approaches from forward fire. If they come at them, I mean, they can just aim for the wheels, really, so I'm not going to put too much effort into trying to protect them like this, but this little bit doesn't seem too much. There we go. Right, let's see how horribly this performs, because this is remarkably heavy. This is probably the most ridiculous design I have made to date. Let's go and practice with it first. Alright. Shenanigans roller. Wow. I guess this is Mark 1 because it's a completely new design, but let's see. How does this turn? It turns terribly. I think I have an idea of how to help with that, though. It doesn't move too badly. Not doing too much damage, though. Probably because I've got so many guns it doesn't know which one to use. Reasonable rate of fire, though. And you can now press right mouse button to look down the sight of your guns. Not that I'm particularly good at that. Trying to predict him. There we go. I actually did it in the end. And he's just gone out of range. Right, I'm not happy with the turn speed. The forward speed isn't too bad, honestly. And the weight seems to be distributed okay. But we're going to have to test a few jumps, I think. Let's see. Oh, hello. You've got a laser. I dislike it. Be gone. How many others are there? Right, let's go and test the jump, see how it manages going over a lip. Whether it just topples over immediately, which is quite possible with all of this weight at the back, honestly. Well, Geronimo for science! Oh, no, no, oh, almost. That wasn't good. Let's see, let's try a better one. We actually want to jump. Can I get him? No. What on earth is my radar doing? Oh, I see. That little ping is the sound of the radar finding someone else to target. As you can see, it's turned around. But we want to try and jump off here, I think. But I really don't think we've got enough speed to really do too much damage to ourselves. Unless we do something... Oh no, that... Wow. That almost ended poorly. I was going to say it might be worth putting some weighted blocks on the sides, but honestly, having watched the way it was teetering on tipping over there, I think that would actually have encouraged me to fall over. So perhaps not. Okay, there's one thing I can do to help with the turning speed. It's a little bit of a cheat. But since those front ones are just steering, we can add in some thrusters. I've got loads of small ones or a couple of big ones that I could put in there. The big ones wouldn't fit properly. Well, I suppose it still would. Let me see, because one of these is 97 newtons of thrust. Wrong one. It's one of these. 97,000 newtons, yeah. And this one's only 48,000 newtons. So yeah, we'll use these ones and see how they do. If they provide a little bit too much, I'll swap them for one of the smaller ones. Let's test this out. Now, I've been told that if you've got drive wheels, then putting any sort of thruster on it for speed just won't help. That does turn a little bit better. They are helping a little, but not as much as I was expecting, honestly. Okay, it's maybe a bit crazy. I'm going to stick another one on there. Yeah, I'm going to go with the bigger one as well. We'll actually see how two of these thrusting in the same direction help. Or don't help, as the case may be. Place it there. Now, these will be shot out fairly quickly, I imagine. But, well. Alright, let's see how this can turn now. It'll probably turn a little bit too fast and end up tipping me over. Which will be funny. For science, once again. Now, let's see. Does this turn any better? Actually, not that much better. Actually, no, it is turning a little better, especially as we're going over the lips. And if I stop the forward thrust, forward drive, ooh, yeah, it turns really sharply then. So I'm just going to have to effectively keep doing handbrake turns. Okay, well, I'm happy with this. I think it's time to take it out. Let's go and kill the heli wrong before we do, though. Zoom in. And there we go. That felt quite nice. And also the diddler, because of your name. Come here. There we go. Right, I think we're ready to take it out into battle. And just to see how this goes. And if it does okay, I think I will settle on this and just keep changing its design little by little as I get the money to do so. First stage would be to completely coat it in the level 2 armor. And also replace some of these, because I'm just sticking lasers on you really without much thought. I guess these ones really don't serve a purpose, honestly. They're too low level. They're not going to really do any damage to the things that we're going to be fighting in tier 4. In fact, these ones on the top probably won't either. But, actually, I'm going to get rid of those two as well. Actually, no. I'm going to get rid of those two. But the ones in the middle, because there's so much platform there is quite a good chance that these will survive. Because even once these have been knocked out, though, if those are knocked out, I've lost my ability to steer, except for my thrusters, which may actually help. In fact, with that in mind, maybe I'll add a few more just on the top, just to make sure I still can turn if I need to, even if I lose my steering wheels. There we go. Right, I think it is more or less ready. And I'm going to break the cardinal rule here, and I'm not going to test it even though I've just added thrusters, which is kind of a big change, because it could change the movement quite dramatically. But we're going to go ahead and test it. Average wait is only 19 seconds, that's good. There's 22 people in tier 4 waiting. Now, you'll actually get to see some really well-made bots. Now, not just something I've thrown together, because I'm terrible at building them. Right, let's see. Bombastic. Schwab. I can't pronounce that. It's German, it looks like. Cube there. Okay, the cube. Alright, well, let's say good luck. Have fun. Ooh, comma. Have fun. No, capitalization. My hands are really cold. Okay, let's go. There's the cube over there. Volod's driving it. It has wheels. I was kind of hoping that it would float. That would have been awesome. My lord, you've got a lot of wheels. You're like a tank equivalent of a millipede. Alright, let's see. Ooh, he's got plasmas. That's something I would like to show off, but I really don't have high enough level plasmas to make it worth showing at the moment, unless I was in a lower tier, which I'm trying to avoid. Ooh, he's got a badge on the back there. You can buy these. They cost a bit of galactic credit, so it's cosmetic, real monies, which I don't find too offensive, actually. I like it when it sticks to cosmetic stuff. I may show some of those off in the future. Come back here, you swine. Uh-oh, I'm being shot at. Thankfully, I've got some armor. Oh, I need to turn to put my armor facing him. Destroy! Oh, you picked the wrong fight. Oh, you might not have, though. Do as much damage as I can. Taking out a lot of his guns, but... Oh, no! I've been tipped over! Oh, I'm back up! Oh, I'm dead. Damn it! I almost recovered, and then I failed abysmally. 302 RP collected purely from damage, 227 for bravery, 529 total, and I died in that. Oh, granted, I only got 1 tech point. That really doesn't seem to get affected based on the tier of battle you're in. If you lose, you get very few. That's just the way it is. But, as you see there, that's actually quite a lot compared to what I would have gotten for winning in a tier 1. And 20-second wait. I actually really like this animation, though. There's something quite pleasing about watching my robot being slowly put together. I would love it if the teleport in animation was this. So as you're entering the battle, everyone's robots are just being put together, but then a 20-second wait would be a little bit too much. A little bit more than a 20-second wait as well. Is this running on Steam time or something? Right, okay, we're going to take that straight back out, though. I'm not satisfied with the little bit of a test that we had there. Oh, straight in as well. Same map, though, unfortunately. Right, I'm going to try and be a little bit more clever, because I'm clearly not built as well as some of the other people here. So I am going to try and follow along in a column of armor, if I can. And, of course... Gotta be polite. Alright, let's go. Wow. Are you even moving there, dude? Oh, someone said it back! Fantastic! Useless bot. Oh, you're not useless then, you useless bot. Should be renamed Polite Bot. Alright, I'm gonna go with you, because you got a lot of guns on you. You look intimidating. Also, I will hide behind you. You will be a convenient shield. Oh my lord, that flyer just got ruined over there. Okay, well, we're going straight in. Oh no! Skyfire 98, you're doomed! Oh my god, it's a Minecraft skeleton. Oh, the Minecraft skeleton is gone! I am sad! I will join in its destruction if I can. Stop shooting at me. Ooh, great. Plasma's going off nearby. Get in there. Got you. Now, this is one of the stupid things for me to be doing. Oh, so much firepower. So loud, too. I will need to try and tone that down. It's really hard to play the settings, unfortunately. I have lost stealing, haven't I? Yes, I have. Wow. In that case... Since someone has done most of the work already, go ahead and finish me off, you swines. Here I am, 3 points. Finish me off. Put me out of my misery, or I'm going to go and capture your flag. I've lost all the wheels on one side. I am now doomed to going in circles. That is rather sad. There we go. It didn't last too long. But I was very impressed with that Minecraft skeleton. You do see quite a lot of those kinds of bots around. I will actually try and record some more when I see really good ones. I'll just flip the recording on and I'll make a compilation or something. But I'm afraid that is it. So whilst I'm waiting for Rolling Shenanigans to be rebuilt, and seriously consider taking most of these guns off so I drop down in tier, I will have to say goodbye. I do hope you've enjoyed this episode, though. I hope you will be joining me for the next, in which we will probably see Rolling Shenanigans Mark II. But until then, and as always, do take care.